I'm running for this office because of my passion and vision to make this country great. My seriousness is deeply rooted in my passion and the vision I think I possess to change the narratives in this country called Nigeria. We're not talking about a normal nation, we're talking about an abnormal nation. So you need an outside-the-box thinker to change the narratives. Because the situation and the mood of the nation now, one, requires a unifier, someone who possesses the credentials or qualities of capacity to unite this country. Rocha has to stand top on this agenda. Then, if you are talking about somebody who can change the narratives of our economy, I qualify. And if you're talking about somebody who has compassionate heart for the downtrodden and who really cares, then I qualify. These are the three things I think Nigerians are asking for right now. Nigerians are not asking for empty promises or lecture series to say, I will. But Nigerians are looking at track record, antecedent. And if that's a thing, then I must qualify. 14.5 million out-of-school children. We need to put those children back to school. There's no other person who qualified to speak on free education or putting these children back to school than Rocha's Okorocha. Why? Through the Rocha's Foundation colleges built across the length and breadth of this nation, in every geopolitical zone, from Sokoto to Zaria, to Kano, to Bauchi, to Jos, to Adamawa, to Oyo State, Imo, Enugu, Cross River, Oboko, and of course the African school that brought children from all African countries, totaling over 25,000 children since inception. Now, if I have done that, then if I say I'm going to take out 14.5 million children out of the street and put them in school, believe me, it will be done. That's what I mean by track record, number one. If I say to you that I will unite this country, I'm a unifier, believe it, because passion and love saw me took off from Imo, 1,000 kilometers away from Kano, traveling there to put up my asset and wealth and buildings to educate the poor children of that area. In all places I mentioned, I'm not from there.
Yeah.
So if I tell you that I've, in the past, through my education, unite this country, or foundation, believe me, this is what I mean by track record. We're coming to Imo, if you have time, or now. Imo, and I'll summarize it this time for you to understand. As the governor of Imo State, I introduced the first ever free education from primary to secondary to university. First time in the history of Nigeria, on record. As a governor of Imo State, I sacrificed my security votes, total about 8 billion, so that the free education can be given to the poor. As governor of Imo State, I introduced Youth Must Work that engaged over 25,000 youths that gave us what we call the relative peace for 8 years, that you never heard of killings and beheading of people for 8 years. Now that's a track record. Now I introduced the Community Government Council, the fourth tier of government, that brought government closer to the grassroots, that allowed traditional rulers and youth leaders and women leaders come in and form a mini government to take care of their communities, such that when a roof of a school goes off, you don't have to wait for Commissioner for Education to come from Owerri. The community government can fix it before it gets completely damaged. That was vision, and that's track record. Now, I could mention that as a governor, I built over 1,000 kilometers of roads. Now, I built 546 primary school buildings of 12 classrooms. And I built 13 tertiary institutions, 6 universities, licensed by NUC. Now, in Imo State, and I can mention all of them. And I built one of the best international cargo airport. In fact, the best international cargo airport shares in Nigeria as described by FAN during the commissioning by Professor Sibanjo, the Vice President. Now, I built the 27 general hospitals, what I call seeing 100 years to come. I'm not just saying to them, I'm saying 100 years to come. That will build and privatize in partnership. And some of them are functioning fully. I changed the landscape of Imo. I introduced the first urban renewal program in Imo State that saw Imo State with 2 new flyovers, the first ever 2 flyovers, the first ever 2 tunnels, and 8-lane roads across the length and breadth of Imo that ushered in the biggest real estate. The value of land changed from 500,000 in 2011 to 50 to 100 million in 2019 before I left office. Now, I had one of the best court buildings, said high court buildings in this country. And I have, of course, the best police headquarters built by Imo State government. Today standing better than any police headquarters in Nigeria except the one in Abuja. Really? Proud to say also that I built the best prison command, what is called correctional center. Yes. Because the one we had before was directly opposite government house and it posed serious danger to the people there. So I smartly located them to a place where it could be. But you know what is interesting above all this is that I wasn't a propagandist and I was not very good in propaganda. So most people didn't understand. I introduced the first e-commissioning, online commissioning, because I wanted to save funds, cutting costs of governance. Knowing that my state is not one of the wealthiest states. What Imo collects in 12 months, 14 months, is what Rivers gets in 1 month. And so Delta. But I was an outside the box thinker, and I created so much wealth for Imo State before I left, because I didn't run by just the subvention. And that's the track record I want to bring to bear. That's why sometimes I want to sound boisterous, and I challenge anyone who think otherwise to stand before me and let's go into maybe speaking on what we have achieved our track records. That I've built more roads than any governor in history has built. I've built more hospitals, more schools, more infrastructure than any governor in history of that state has built. And I've said this on public television, the newspapers. I say, I stand to be challenged. And if anyone contradicts me this, then I surrender my political ambition. I contacted one man one day. I said, why do you write this about me and say this fake story that is not true? He said, if I'm serious, then I should close their mouth. That have you seen somebody who is eating, chewing something and talking before? And that was a very serious answer he gave me. And that made me understood where they were going to. So, but you need to go and see. One of the leaders of this country visited me. And when he came there, he said, Rocha, what is wrong with you? I'm going to send you a media team to help you out. When he went to one of the universities, he said, this university with this do something huge buildings, that they would have invited him 21 times to come and commission. But I kept, this is only one side, and I don't commission. I didn't commission my project. So security, we did very well. Education, Imo became the best in education, in JAMB alone. In JAMB alone, Imo State came first for 8 years with me as governor, with 150 thousand JAMBs every year. The second was Delta with 67,000, beating every state in Nigeria. But after all this I've done, guess what? That might shock you again, is that Transparency International and Nigerian Bureau of Statistics in 2018, on their own, I never knew they were doing anything, analyzed the corruption, whatever, of all the state governors and federal government, and came up with that Imo State during my tenure was the least corrupt state. In other words, there was literally no corruption in that state, except the ones from the security agencies. That was what they said. And ease of doing business went high. I revamped the shoe industry during my time. The Oguta fish industry came back. Because I believe that the starting point of this nation is on small and medium scale industry. I believe it. Now, if you look at the songs being sung by all the aspirants, it's not different from the one we sang in 2015.
Yes.
It's not different from the one we sang in 1993. It's not different. The same song we're singing. The same style. If I was listening to one of the TV now, somebody was talking about bag of rice, this is this, I'm tired, Nigeria is... We said that also 10 years ago. Now, what is the root cause of the problem? Until we solve this problem, you can't have any better president. This nation is at the stage where it's no longer looking for people who will say, I will, I will. If once you can remove that word will, then the real candidate will emerge. But I'm saying, I've done, I've done, I've done. Not I will, I will. Because I will does not come to practical realities when the game is set. That's one of my major campaigns. And I challenge anybody who has a better track record in this country than Okorocha should please challenge me. I saw a window of opportunity in Nigeria. That's a new world, and that's why I call it the new Nigeria. There's a new world that has put us on a flat. I like my paper. You know, this is the world. Before, the world was tilting like this, and Nigeria is at the base, which is called the poverty capital of the world. For somehow, nature is bending the whole world to come flat. And that is what's called the green world. The best opportunity to cash into the green world, the green energy world, the solar world. So we don't stay a situation 50 years to come, 30 years to come, where America, London will ship us their Rolls Royce for $5,000, 5,000 pounds of fossil fuel, and we'll buy. Now that everybody's flat, let's leapfrog with them. As they jump, we'll put our leg and jump. That's the new Nigeria and the new world I'm doing. And in the other Marshall Plan, Nigeria must stop growing horizontally. We must start growing vertically. There's so much of horizontal growth. That's why Abuja cannot have a city center. I have plans for all this. Just give me a chance and see the new Nigeria if you not marvel you. Because I feel pained that a gentleman in Dubai has turned around Dubai. I feel pain that a gentleman in China has turned around China. Vietnam, all the gentlemen, people of my type, changing stories. And we're here talking about Hesman, AK-47, bombing of this. It pains me, my dear, excuse me. I'm not happy about it.